Greetings, Professor McKee here with another quick Excel tip your finance professor wishes you knew. In this video, we will learn how to use the FV function in Excel to find the future value of a time value of money question. In any intro finance class, we will have a unit on time value of money, and we professors will always have questions where we give you 3 of those characteristics and ask you to find the missing one. If you want to ace those questions, this video is for you. I have prepared a standard question right here, asking us to find the accumulated amount, i.e. the future value, to make this loan fair. How much does our friend need to pay us back at the end of the loan to make this, in time value of money terms, a fair trade between us? To get started on any time value of money question, it's best to convert our verbal description into the numerical values we need to actually calculate, in this case, the future value for our loan. So for N, that's going to be the number of periods. We have a 5-year loan here. That means our number of periods is 5. Our interest rate is 4% per year, 0.04. And present value, that's the amount of the loan that we are giving to our friend. That's going to be the $50. And FV is for future value, and that's what we're trying to find. So we don't need to put anything in. We're going to put in the Excel function here, which is equals FV, open parentheses. And Excel tells us what parameters we need to put in. So first one we need to do is rate for interest rate. That's that 0.04 we just entered. N per for number of periods. That's the 5 next to N. Payment is actually the value that any interest payments that she would make during the life of the loan. There is none. She's not making any. It's just we lend her money today and then she pays us back at the end. So this value would be 0. And then present value is the $50, and it's in brackets because Excel has a value there that it would put in by default if we didn't do anything. But Excel's value here is 0. Obviously, we're not loaning out $0, so we put in the 50, and we don't let it take the default. Now, type can be the default. If we leave that alone for this type of question, we'll be fine. And enter, and we get our negative 60.83. This is the amount that she needs to pay us back after 5 years in order to make our loan fair. Note that this is a negative value because the Excel function is treating it as cash going in for her, the $50 she receives, and then she has to pay $60, which is cash out for her, negative cash flow. That is how Excel treats a lot of these time value of money functions. There needs to be cash going in both directions. Now, if we want to be a little fancier, use better Excel practices, and most importantly, be able to take this Excel file and reuse it for future time value of money questions, we can use cell references. So instead of typing the parameters in directly, like we do here, we can instead tell Excel what cell we want to use instead of the direct value. So instead of me typing in 4%, I can go to B7, type in B7, and now Excel will take whatever interest rate I put in here. Right now it's 4%, and that will be the value for the interest rate. And B6 was number of periods. Payment was always going to be 0 here, so we can just not use the cell reference. And B8 was my present value. And as you can see, I still get that same 60.83 as my future value. But the advantage here is I can now change one of these 3 values. Maybe I have a different type of loan, a different question, and then when I make the changes with these 3, my future value will immediately update. So let's say, for instance, it's a much larger loan. She's now borrowing $800, not $50. I would change present value to 800 and enter. And now I have a new future value. Of course, it's much larger because my present value is larger. It's now 973 is the amount she would owe me after 5 years. So with this single function, you can now find the future value for any time value of money question your professor might throw at you. If you found this video helpful, please comment, like, and/or subscribe so that other students can find it too. Happy studying.